essentially what I'm leading with here is like, yeah, you got to practice. You got to practice your answers to all these questions. I always recommend recording yourself, watching it, even though it's a little painful, getting feedback from other people, getting a communications coach even to help you organize the way you're sharing this information is really important. And what's great about that is that when you practice, the imposter syndrome kind of goes down a little bit because you realize like, oh, like I did do that thing. It's a matter of getting comfortable with how amazing you are. I think, yeah, the voices inside are really loud, like, oh, you can't do this, or, oh, who do you think you are? But it's up to you, it's up to us to tell that voice, like, actually, no, like, this is who I am, and I have accomplished a lot, and I can do this too. It's really, a lot of people ask me all the time, how do I get that voice to stop talking or shut up? And like, well, good luck. You can't, but you have to be stronger than that voice. That's the key. Yeah.
I love that you also mentioned preparation that much, because I think I totally agree. It's the key to everything, basically, right? Mm-hmm. And what I also like to tell my founders is to prepare an FAQ page, for example, really write down the questions that were asked quite frequently, but also the tough questions, and prepare the answer, because then you can also turn these difficult situations or even the unfair questions into a positive experience here as well. And answering those bad questions with confidence and successfully has even a higher effect than answering an easy question about the vision.
100%. Yeah, I love that you're saying that, because I am obviously a communications coach, but I struggle with communication sometimes. And I had a situation yesterday where I had to answer a text, and it was really, it just felt like the hardest thing I ever had to do. And so I actually created a document, and I started writing out all of like, okay, this is what I want to say. No, delete it. This is what I want to say. Okay, what do I really want to communicate here? And it took me half an hour, but I got it down to 3 questions that I wanted to send to the other person. And I was really making sure that I wasn't using, we say, violent communication. So I wasn't accusing that person or being aggressive in my language, but I was leaving it open by asking questions and not assuming anything. And it took me a long time to do that. But I tell you, once I sent that text, I felt like, wow, I've really learned something. I learned something about my own communication style and patterns that I didn't even know I had. And I was able to change them in that moment because I spent so much time in preparation. I mean, one of my favorite quotes is oh God, and I'm going to forget the actual quote, but it's this famous actor. And he said, oh, I remember it now. He said, all the real work gets done in rehearsal. So you think that when you go out on stage, that's when you're acting, that's when you're doing the work, but no, it's in all the rehearsals before. That's when you're working out all these problems and figuring out what's the best way to say this and what should I focus on and what question can I lead with? And it takes time to get clear on all that stuff.